Okay, today we will see that most important chapter in our even Selenium Java, and it when it comes to the Java topics also, that chapter is going to be main important, that concept. Okay, so this
Okay.
what is that constructor? We are going to say constructor. Okay, so this is very, very important. What is the purpose of constructor and how we are going to use this constructor? Okay, and how many ways we can have the constructors. So basically, constructor is nothing but a to initialize the objects. Okay, this is main purpose is to initialize the objects. Okay,
The screen is not shared.
yeah, I'm just sharing. See, constructor is nothing but to initialize the object, right? So basically, whenever we are going to create an object, we are going to initialize that object. So that is the main purpose of constructor. And if we want to go with constructor, this is a special method. Okay, special method. So when we are going to call as a constructor, whenever if we have the class name, right? Class name and constructor name. Constructor name, if both are same, then we can call it as a constructor. So basically, whenever how are we going to call this? Because whenever if we have the constructor, whenever we create the objects, right? So that time itself it will call. Normally, if we have to create the normal methods, and when you are creating the objects for classes, right, you need to create a objects. Again, you need to call. But here, you no need of that kind of thing. You can, the once the object has been created, by the time itself it will call. So basically, we have two kinds of constructors. One is default constructor. Another one is parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. So default constructor is nothing but we are not going to pass any arguments. Okay, say for example, how the difference is, I will create one class here. Okay, so okay, default constructor and parameterized constructor. Suppose we are having, assume that we have some humans or employees, right? So how we are going to bifurcate that? Say for example, if we will assume that employee or human, assume that you have a human or person. Okay, I have one class called as a human. Okay, and for human, normally what all are the attributes we have for human? Normally, you
Like
will have
eyes, nose, and
name,
hands, legs.
yeah, name, ID, right? And location, address, right? These three. And if we have any kind of phone number, if you want phone number, you can have the phone number, right? So these all are the attributes we have, right? And basically, when we have these parameters, these all are nothing but the attributes. So similarly, a human can do some common functionalities, right? Human can do some common functionalities, right? These are going to be vary for person to person, but the activities which humans are going to do normally, like running or dancing, similarly writing, writing, or singing. So these all are the common activities, right? Every person can able to do, right? So these all are the common methods. So assume that these all are the methods. Okay. So whenever if you are going to call as a constructor, it is mixing up of both properties and methods. We are going to call that as a encapsulation. These all are the methods which humans can do, which humans can perform on each and every methods, right? So now how to call these methods for each and every person, and how we can able to retrieve these parameters, okay, properties or attributes. So how we are going to implement this with the help of constructor, that is what we are going to see now. Okay, because here we are going to reduce the code as much as possible. Okay, so that is how we are going to create here reusable methods. We are going to call as a reusable methods. So now we will have to create a one class for that now. Okay, we'll see now. We will create a one constructor, and with the help of that, we are going to pass the parameters and methods and how to call those things. We can see that all those things now. Okay. Uh, okay. Say for example, I am having one class is there. Okay, so here I am going to have create one class constructor. I am not going to create any main method now. We'll create a method after some time, or we'll see later. Okay. See, now I am going to create a one class. Okay. Otherwise, this is the main method. Assume that if we can go with main method also, we don't have any problem. Okay. Let's see now. So this is a class, right? So what we have discussed, how the constructor is going to say, if this is a class, constructor name also should be the same. Okay, so that means that we will have to create const. Okay, so this is nothing but a constructor. Okay, so when we have the class name and constructor name, if both are same, then we can call it as a constructor. Here in this, we have not passed any parameters here. This is what we can call it as a default constructor. Okay. And once we pass the parameters here, say for example, string name. Okay. Then int id. Similarly, we have string location, right? Similarly, if we have string number, right? So int phone number. So like this. Okay. So this is how we are going to use. So here we have to define that parameters. Here you can use the string name, then int id. Similarly, here string location. Okay. So assume that for timing we can use only with 3, then we can extend as much as possible if we want. Okay, see, now these 3 are the construct. What are we calling this? Which kind of variable this is? What kind of variable? This one? Because we have created a variables, right? These all are the variables, right?
Name,
Properties.
ID,
Huh?
LOC.
Hmm?
Name, ID, LOC are variables.
Yeah, what kind of variable these all are? That is what I'm asking. Because these variables are instance variable, because outside of the methods, right? So this is nothing but a instance
Okay.
variables. Instance variables. Okay, all these 3. Because outside
Because
of,
they are defined outside the method.
yeah, outside of the method, inside of the class, right? So this is what we can call it as a instance variable. Suppose I have one variable called as any int or long phone number is equal to long phone number. See, this is nothing but a local variable. Okay, local variables. So which all are defined under the method, we can call it as a local variables, and outside of the method we can call it as a instance variable. So this is what we have discussed, right? This is a special method, right? This is a special method. Special method with this is nothing but a parameterized constructor, because we are passing the values here. That's why we are calling it as a parameterized constructor. Okay, so again within this constructor we have a methods, right? As we discussed that some methods, public void read. Okay, so here I have read. So here we can write the system dot out dot println. So double quotes, we are reading the book. So this is common, right? Anyone can do this method activity, right? This is nothing but a function statement. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is nothing but a statement. So similarly, I'm having one more statement here. This is nothing but a dance. So dancing. Okay, like this. So similarly, if you want, you can use n number of methods. Wherever we are having the methods, we can call with the help of all those things. So how these are going to be impact for each and every student, that we will discuss. See here, we will use running. Okay, so this is what we have created, 3 methods, and we have 3 properties. Say now here we will have to call with this as a super keyword, that is nothing but this dot name is equal to, okay, so this is nothing but name. Okay, similarly this dot id is equal to id, this dot location constant, right? So is equal to location. Okay, see now we have called this, but now my intention is I am having 10 people are there, right? Say for example, for 10 people have different name and different id, different location we have. So how are we going to call these parameters? See how to create these things. So that is what we are going to see now, because whenever we are having, right, so in order to execute this we need a main method, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So without main method you can't able to execute, right? See
Yes, sir.
now if I run this, I can't able to run this. I can't able to execute. Okay. See, we don't have any Java. So in order to run the application, you need a one main method, right? So that is what we are going to see now. So that is nothing but we can create a one main method, public static okay. So here we can use string args. Okay. Okay. So now I have created one main method. Then what I need to do? I have created, then how to call those methods?
We have to
We,
create an object for
we
that
have to
class.
create an object, right? How to create that object? Class name, right? class name. What is the class name here?
Const.
Const. So here I can use const like person one. P1 is equal to new const, right?
Yes.
That's it. So now why we are getting this error? Because we have this constructor, whenever we are passing, we have passed these parameters, right?
Yes.
So that's why it is asking to pass the variables here. We need to, that P1, whoever is the person one is there, we will have to pass the values here. That is what they are asking here. See, now first parameter is what? Name, right?
Yes.
So now we will have to pass that name, then ID 200, then location Bangalore. Okay. So now can we able to run this? Can I run this? See, nothing has been executed, right? Nothing has been printed.
Yes.
Why
Yeah.
it is not printed? We have not called the program, right? We have not used the system.out.println, right? System.out.println. Okay, here p1 dot name. We have right name. Then similarly, if I need ID, I can use either separately also I can use, or I can use combinedly. Here p1 dot id or location. Okay, so if I can run now, I will get all the see these values we got right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now my intention is what? Here we have t1 dot. Similarly, I'm having one more. Here if I want all in the single line, then what I need to do? Plus, okay, p1 dot id. Okay, similarly concatenate p1 dot location. Okay, see now if I can, okay, so here, okay, see now if I'll run this, I will get the values in a single line. Like we will get it in a like 200 Bangalore in a single line. That's the reason why we have this. So either way you can able to use this. Now suppose if I want P2 parameters, right? So here I need the constructor, right? Whenever we create the object, it is going to call this. Okay. So here if I want person name, you can use here as a double quotes person name. Okay. Person name plus concatenate. You can use the concatenate. Then you will get the person name, then P1. Here ID of the person. You can use the ID of the person in bracket. So here if you want, you can use ID of the person like this. So similarly location of the person. So you can use the location, right? Location of the peer person. Then you can use the double quotes. Okay. So this is how you are going to create. So now if I'll execute this, we will get all the okay. See now we will get the person name Sri, ID of the person 200, location of the person Bangalore, like this. So it depends. Similarly, now if I want here as my name is here and here is 300 and this one is Tirupati. Okay. See now if I want to run this P2, then again I can write the one more statement here and I just simply replace the values here. P2, here also P2, then here also P2, right? Like this. So you can have n number of persons, right? Because each and every person have their own parameters, right? See this one. Now here person 1 is interested in the dancing, or person 2 is interested on writing, or person 3 is interested on reading. Then how to call those methods here? Suppose here if we have 100 also, you can create in the same manner. Like now here, how to call that P1 method here? This is a read method, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the constructor. So what it does, constructor, what it does, properties and methods we can call directly, right? So here the whenever we are calling P1 dot, we will have the read method, read. Okay, so like that. Similarly, if I want to dancing P2 dot dance, or if you want, you can use the dance. Similarly, P1 dot run method you can use. Okay, like this. So like this you can call a number of times. So you can now if I'll run this, whatever the methods we are having, right? So we are reading a book, we are dancing the floor, or we are running. Specific to the methods, right? So this is the person. Okay, you got it right here.
Yes, sir.
Public read. So this is how we are going to create a constructor, how it is going to helpful in terms of both methods and properties. So that is, we can call it as a encapsulation. What encapsulation said? Encapsulation.
Hiding the information.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay, sir.
You are clear, right? This one, Srivalli, because this is nothing but the encapsulation. We can say what is meant by encapsulation. It is a binding up of methods and properties, right? Got it?
Yes, sir.
So here also we have both the methods, right? We have the methods, we have common methods. Here these all are the common methods which we are going to call individual persons. Whenever we are creating an object, that time itself it will construct that object. Okay. So this is nothing but the parameterized constructor. And whereas default constructor, suppose if you are not passing the any parameter, that is what that is we can call it as a default parameters. Say for example here, see this is nothing but a default parameter. So here we are not passing any value. Say now here if I pass constant like P4 is equal to new okay. See, now this is accepting. Why? Because this is a default constructor. We have not passed any arguments here, right? This
Okay.
one. So that's why this is a default constructor and this is a parameterized constructor. So this is nothing but the default.
So what is the default constructed? It will be just empty only.
Correct, correct. Without passing any arguments. You are clear, right?
What
Parameter
is that default constructor doing? Like
means we are
it is
not
not
going to pass any values. That's it.
okay.
Okay, here this is the arguments, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, see, Sri Valli, this is constructor. See, this is a default constructor. That means that you are not going to pass any values here. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
That is only the default. That means here nothing is going to pass here. Say now if I have this P4, right? So here if I run this, by default constructor will execute. Okay. See here, this is nothing, right? So now here, if I call this system dot out dot println, see without passing any arguments here, that see by default it executes. System will take it by default. Okay. See, this is what it is going to print. Once you have a class, you can construct n number of objects, right? See, I can call n number of objects here. Okay. This one, default one, I can call n number of objects. See, each and every person, it will create a one default. Okay. See, now if I run this, by default, system will execute program. See here, this one, this is not, we are calling, right? This is 3 java.const at the rate. This ID is going to generate randomly. Okay. That is what we are going to construct that objects. Once if we have a class, we can construct n number of objects. Okay. See, if I'll execute now, I will get multiple things with same, okay, IDs with different IDs. Okay. You got it, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So this is nothing. This is a default. That's it. Not more than any, only default. But when it comes to this particular thing, we have to be a constructor. This is nothing but a parameterized. That means we are passing the values. Parameterized constructor. You can pass n number of values here. See, now if I can pass designation or salary, okay, int or sal or double sal, okay. See, like this. So now I can use here this dot sal is equal to shall. The moment and when I use here, by default it will throw error message. Why? Because you are not mentioning the salary like that. Okay, 40,000 or like this, 50,000. Okay. Why we got this error, you know? Have you identified why we got this error? Because double is a decimal, right?
Okay.
Double data type double is a decimal, right? That's why we are going to accept the point zero. Okay.
Okay.
So now if we want that salary, you can use the P1 dot sal. P1 dot sal. Okay. So here P1 dot name. So here we have to use that sal. Okay. So this is the capital S. Okay. Now, if I can run that, what is the salary of that P1 dot sal? So now it will print that value. Okay. Because this is a method, right? So here you can use here plus P1 dot salary. Okay. Now if I can run that, I will get that salary also. See, 44,000, right? So this is how we are going to construct the objects with the help of constructor. It is very useful. See, whenever we are having the driver, right? So there we can use the constructors. So where and all are we are having the parameters, then you can create this and you can execute the constructor. Okay. So this is one simple concept, and it is very important concept also. What is the purpose of constructor and how we are going to use this method? See, now we are not going to use each and every method, right? For each and every person. It is suppose if you
Yes.
are having 100 members are there. For 100 members, are you going to write each and every person to write the different methods? Like here P1 read, P1, P2 P1 dance like that. You can't do, right? So these all are the common methods. Similarly, you can assume even if you have animals are there, how they are barking or eating or see, we can take an example of that and then you can construct these kind of objects, right? So these all are the examples of methods. These all are properties. How are we going to restrict this with the help of modifiers? Suppose I don't want to display my salary. Then how I can do that? We can restrict that with help of private.
Right, modifier.
Yeah. So similarly, private int. So if you don't want to call, then you can restrict that. Okay. Private. Okay. Okay, like this. So you can restrict, right, with the help of modifiers. So this is all about the constructors. Constructors, Srivalli. So you just have to practice this. Okay. So you
Okay.
can have n number of values. Suppose here we have only 4 attributes, but my intention is suppose tomorrow when I am going to have in Flipkart, right? Say for example, if you go to the Flipkart, okay, see, where we have, see now when I'm going to, see we have Flipkart, right? When we go to this particular application, when I have this product name, right? See, when I'm opening this, see how many parameters are there for this. We have a product name, right? This is a product name, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is a rating, and this is a double. So each and every, this is a price. This is nothing but a text. So these all are, we have the different products, right? With the help of all this, we can create the constructors. You can use all the parameters, values, okay? So this is all about constructors, okay? So you just practice once, and if you have any doubt, we can discuss on that.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Any query on this? Because constructor parameter nothing, because normal methods and this constructor, because for normal classes or this you have to call their own, but here the moment when you create the object, when you are instantiating this objects itself, that object is going to call by default, because here I am not going to call again, right? P4 dot nothing, but the moment when I create the object, it is going to call the method. Okay, you got the
In
difference?
interview, what questions they'll ask, sir, on constructor topic?
No, in constructor, what is the main difference between constructor? Like, what is the default constructor, parameterized constructor, or how are we going to call the methods like this? I will share you those questions as well. Okay. Suppose if
Okay.
they ask you to explain with the help of one real-time example, suppose I have one person name is there. So I have 3 person names are there. How are we going to call those properties? Or how do you call those common methods for all these methods? Like that. Okay. I will share you that interview questions also. Okay. So
Okay,
just
sir.
practice those things. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Mm. Okay. I think that's all for this today's session, Srivalli. Once you
Okay.
practice, then only you will get the doubt. Okay. So if you have any doubt, we can see. Once if you have created all these with replication, you are good to go. Okay.
Hmm. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay.